Martin Stevens' Raising Up is a very well written, comprehensive book on how to be a role model in our community and for young people of all ages. It's a very comprehensive study and look into the various aspects of being a good role model or a godparent. Being a parent myself and also a godparent, there was some interesting factors in the book that I took some lessons from. I love the fact that it has this workbook style to it, so that people can make notes and look over the notes that they've made in relation to the book. In essence, it's a highly recommended read for anyone who is either an existing godparent or being asked to become a godparent. A very, very interesting and insightful first book by Martin Stevens, and I look forward to seeing the other future output from this very bright young man. Thank you.
Okay, right. Were you all able to hear that? If I can have some thumbs up or some kind of responses to let me know whether you were able to hear that. Okay, I see your thumbs up there. Wonderful. Wonderful. Ah, I was there fiddling around and yeah, did some work beforehand and wasn't getting the responses that I was getting. So glad that you all could see and hear it. All right, wonderful. Just gonna those who are coming into mute, which I've done now. Wonderful. Okay, awesome. Let me show you what I look like. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Martin Stevens, and I am the author of Raising Up Role Models. Raising Up Role Models is my absolute passion, it's my project, it's my baby, it's my love. And essentially, what you should have grasped from the gentleman giving the review, it's aimed primarily at godparents, with the view of enabling godparents to become better role models to their godchildren. So if you are a godparent, it's definitely aiming at someone like yourself to say, hey, let's make a difference. Let's impact our community. Let's save the lives of our young people. All right. So there's many different ways, many different aspects of being able to provide an impact with our young people, and I'm very passionate about that because if it's a thing where we have godparents who want to reconnect with their godchildren and they're thinking, well, how can I reconnect with them? How can I be of impact, or how can I be of influence? There's many different ways, and it doesn't all have to circle around one thing. It doesn't have to be a thing where you buy them a gift for their birthday or for Christmas and then you don't stay in contact. No, there's lots of other ways that you can help them. There's giving them time, showing them love, teaching them various different types of discipline. That's just a few different ways of the different strategies that I promote within my book. So if you haven't got your copy, why not? If you haven't yet got your copy, why not? Pop onto amazon.co.uk, Raising Up Role Models, get your copy today. So within my book, there's so many different chapters, but towards the back there is a directory, and within the directory, or the purpose of the directory, is there to help equip people so that they are in a position to be able to provide services, or at least connect with various different service providers to be able to help their godchildren with various different situations that they might be facing or going through. All right. So, in other words, if you feel passionate about wanting to help them, but yet still you might think, well, I don't know what it's like to be addicted to smoking, or what it's like to be hooked on drugs, or those kind of things. How can I connect with them if that's what they're struggling with, right? Don't feel like there's no way that you can help them. There is always a solution. There's always ways that you can help. There's always ways that you can get involved. And if it's not directly, there's somebody out there that knows how to help. And that's the purpose of the directory. So you can plug in, see what service they need, and get in contact with somebody who's able to provide a particular service that will help to meet the need for your godchild. All right, I'm just going to quickly try and do a split screen here. So my camera might go off temporarily. Da, 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 da. Oh no, it won't let me do a split screen. That's not a problem. Yeah, so that directory is there, so you can tap into it. All right, and reach out to various different people. So with that said, the purpose of this event is to help individuals such as yourselves, to let them know that there's always a solution, there's always help that's around the corner for different things that you want to get help with. We are all experiencing suffering, struggling, being challenged with this pandemic situation from the lockdown started over a year ago, March 2020, the year of vision, right? 2020 vision. Yeah, it was a year that stung a lot of people in many different ways, and many people suffered in financial areas. So I've been waiting for an opportunity to put on an event like this where we can show you that there are still options. There are still many options out there, and I know many of you might feel frustrated, like, how can I get by? How can I make it through this? Like, I've just lost my income stream. I used to do hairdressing, and all of a sudden, like, the hairdressers are closed. How am I going to be able to make some kind of a income or make headway? I can't help myself, let alone help somebody else. Yeah, and if that's you, if you feel frustrated like that, never fear, help is here. All right. If you have the mindset to believe that there's a solution to everything, help is here. All right. So I'm going to get my monotone out of the way. And I'm very excited to be able to introduce the speakers that I have. Well, I say introduce speakers. I'm going to be introducing one, and then the other, and then that speaker will be introducing the second one. But um, I implore you, those of you who are on the call right now, if you haven't got your notepad yet, grab it now. You're going to hear about gems, you're going to hear some jewels that are going to be dropped, you're going to be invigorated, inspired, and mark this date, June the 12th, Saturday, June the 12th, as the date that will have changed your life. All being well, it would have changed your life. All right. So, bear with me. I'm going to be introducing to you my first speaker, who is my mentor, who is involved in property and a corporate solicitor. She is an investor and an entrepreneur, currently working around with around 80 students throughout the UK and abroad. Started teaching Sunday school at the age of 15. That in itself is amazing. She's also a wife and a mother. Her son is 17 years of age. Might I add that she is absolutely dynamic, amazing, and I tell you what, it's almost like whatever challenge you throw in her way, it's not even an issue. She would have come across it. She's got the solution, the suggestion for it. Believe me, I'm living proof, right? There's times where I've come to her like, Nicola, what am I gonna do? And I'm facing this and so on and so forth. I'm telling you what, man. There was a time she left me a voice note for about I think it was probably about an 8-minute voice note, and that was so loaded. It was so loaded that I don't think anybody could have stayed down after hearing what she had to say. So you are in a position where you're privileged to hear the vocal tones and the jewels that are going to be dropped by this individual. So please find your emoji, your clap hand emoji, unless you want to put your camera on, and put your hands together as we receive none other than the illustrious, colorful, and amazing Nicola Carter.
Wow, what an edification. What an introduction. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Martin, for inviting me to speak on this call. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying the sun today. But you've made time to be on this call, which is absolutely excellent. As Martin said, my name is Nicola Carter. I'm 35 years old. My background's in property and corporate law. That's what I do as a profession. I'm a property and corporate solicitor. I live in South London, but my practice is in the West End of London. And I've been doing that for some time now. That's been my main thing for a long time. Now, I'm very, very grateful for the position that I have, for what I've been able to achieve. I invest, I help other people, I mentor and coach a whole team of people to be able to tap into multiple streams of income from home. But I remember growing up, and I was a normal girl raised in Brixton. I'm the oldest of three daughters. My mom was a single parent, and she did her best with us to raise us. But I remember that my childhood was marred by a lot of mental health issues that my mom had as we were growing up. So I was used to living at home and then living at grandparents, staying with aunts and uncles and all this kind of stuff while my mom was in and out of hospital. And so it kind of fueled me. It really did push me forward to say, do you know what, I want to be successful, I want to have a proper life, and I want to have some stability. And so I did what we're all told to do. I went to school, got a good grade, went on to sixth form university and qualified into law. And then what happened was, around a year and a half, 2 years ago, I realized that I still hadn't made it. When you qualify and you graduate, everyone's so excited. Your grandparents are like, oh, my granddaughter, she qualified into law, all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, okay, but why can I still not pay all my bills? Like, what's really going on here? Something isn't right. And I realized that even though I had done everything that the system tells us to do, it isn't enough. There was something missing. And, my son actually changing from one school to another and needing to cover certain expenses led me to realize that I had to do more than just work a job. I had to do more than just do what everybody else was doing. And this is something that I think is so vitally important for our youth to understand as well. Being a Black female going into law has its own challenges, but at 17 years old, I also became a mother, and my son is now 17. And from a young age, I realized that he is going to have additional challenges to what I had, still trying to make the same journey for himself. And I said, no, something is not right here. Let me really look into what these people are doing to attain that kind of time freedom, that life freedom, that financial security that so many of our young people don't have today. Now, on a day-to-day, I can be dealing with people with multi-million property portfolios. I can be dealing with people whose companies are vast, right? Very, very, high net worth individuals. And I realized that I was trying to aspire to the kind of lifestyle that they have, but I wasn't doing what they were doing. So I started to investigate, how is it that I'm doing a 9 to 5 expecting to get there, but they're not doing a 9 to 5? What is it they are doing? And this led me to really look into how to create wealth. How do you not become rich, but how do you create wealth, financial freedom, generational wealth, these kinds of things that, we really need in our society. And along the path of, doing that investigation, I came across a book, which I'm supposed is very well known, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. So if you are on this call taking notes, definitely, if you haven't read that book, do go and buy it. Okay, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, in this book, he breaks down something called the cash flow quadrant. And the cash flow quadrant is essentially the 4 types of ways in that people make their money. So most people, 95% of us, would work or be self-employed. So we are employees or we are self-employed. Okay, we're very used to it. It's what the school system teaches us. You go to school, get your good grades, go to university so you can get a good job, right? Now, the problem with that, we're very grateful for jobs. We give thanks for jobs. We need these jobs, but you kind of end up living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. They're not going to pay you enough for you to be financially free. When was the last time you heard someone worked for a month, got paid, and said, okay, I don't need to work for 6 months, I'm good? It doesn't happen, right? The bills keep coming, and so you keep on working. Now, when you're on that side of money, you're employed or self-employed, what you're actually doing is you are leveraging your time in exchange for money, okay? However you make money, there's always leverage involved. If you're doing it that way, you're leveraging your time. So you may be paid per hour, per day, per week, per month. Now, again, like I said, that has limitations, because what happens if you're unable to give your time? I found when my mum was ill, she couldn't obviously work. She could be, in hospital for weeks or months at a time. And so our finances as a household went up and down and up and down, and it was very, very unpredictable, very volatile. And we weren't able to get much kind of stability out of that. So for me, I'm like, okay, that's 95% of people. What are the other 5% doing? These 5% who seem to have time freedom, security, they have options, they have choices. These are people who are business owners and investors. Okay. Now, business ownership and investing is not something they teach in school, right? So I had to really go out there with this information. But essentially, business ownership is about having a system, having a process, right? So, for example, your local supermarket, you will never see the owner of the supermarket in there, right? You probably don't even know who it is, okay? What you will see is an army of employees. Now, these employees are the leverage, okay? And business owners, they leverage people, their skills, their resources, their time to create an income that is going to pay that business owner, all right? And so when you look at the supermarket, you'll go there and you'll see that all the bases are covered. They've got security, they've got people serving, they've got people stacking the shelves. All of the needs of that business are catered for by those people who receive a salary. But collectively, they are generating much more money for the owner of that business. Now, again, like I said, it's about systems. You don't just see one Asda store, one Waitrose. You see many hundreds of thousands of these stores across the country doing the same thing. You go into one, you go into the other, it's the same thing. It's just duplication, but there's still only one business owner ultimately, right? So you can see how this generates a lot of money without that one person having to give their time. They can be on holiday, they could be on the golf course, they're still getting paid regardless. They have a passive or residual income. Now, when we talk about investment, this takes us to leveraging our capital, leveraging whatever money we already have and being able to multiply it, right? So whether you're investing in property, in stocks, in the foreign exchange market, whatever it is you're investing in, the aim of the game is to put money in, turn over a profit, and end up with more than you started. Now, again, that process is duplicatable. You can reinvest whatever profits you make again and again and again. And this is something that, again, is not time dependent. So what I found is that 95% of people making their money by leveraging time, they're only making collectively 5% of all of the wealth in the world. But if you look at the 5% who have transitioned into business ownership and investments, they're actually making 95% of all of the money. And I realized very quickly, girl, you need to get from the 95% and get yourself over to that 5% somehow. Okay, it's okay to continue to work a job, but please get yourself into business ownership or investment. And so that started off my journey. Now, for me, I didn't know where to start. I didn't have the capital at that time to get into property. Okay, I didn't have the capital to start my business, so I thought. And so I was looking for ways to tap into this 5%. And it was a phone call from my cousin that actually connected me with someone who you're going to hear from later on in this call that really changed my life. That was around, just over 18 months ago. And off the back of that, I was able to tap into something called the foreign exchange market. Now, many of you may know this as Forex. You may have heard about it, heard about trading, and what is all this trading, Forex stuff? It's very simple. But in case you're not familiar, I'll break it down for you, okay? So the foreign exchange market is the largest financial market in the world, turning over roughly $6.6 trillion per day. Now, all it is really the exchange of currencies. So, for example, I'm based in the UK. I'm dealing in, Great British pounds on a day-to-day basis. If I was to travel to go to, say, the US, I would want to change my pounds to US dollars. Why? Because they have no need of my pounds. They're absolutely useless to me if I go there and try to spend money, right? So I need to exchange, I need to trade my pounds for the dollar. And that is going to happen at a given exchange rate, i.e. there is a certain amount of dollars that I'll be able to buy for £1 and so on, right? So when we're doing these exchanges, we're traveling, we're going on holidays, we're booking up hotels in Dubai and all this kind of stuff. We're not even thinking about it, but we're trading in the foreign exchange market. We are trading, probably at a loss, because, when you go to the bank or the post office or wherever it is you change your money, they're going to take their little commission. You're not going to profit from that transaction. Now, another way that we're all involved in the foreign exchange market is simply, if we've been over lockdown and maybe abusing the credit card or the debit card a little bit too much, sometimes when we buy these items online and they're actually coming from outside of the UK, the person who is selling it to us, they're not receiving Great British pounds when we type our card details in. They're actually receiving their own currency. And so again, if you go back and look at your statements, sometimes you'll see there's a tiny conversion charge. You have traded your Great British pounds for the currency of the country that the item is coming from. And again, maybe traded at a loss, right? There's one more way that I want to share with you guys that is so vitally important, some way that we are all involved in the foreign exchange market. And this is if you have a bank account. And I'm sure all of us on this call have at least one bank account. The banks do not just look after your money, okay? What they actually do is collectively they invest it in stocks, commodities, different assets, ventures, foreign exchange, right? All of these different things they are putting our money into, turning over a massive profit and not passing it on to us. So if you look at your actual, your bank statements, look at the interest you've been paid, look at how much your money has actually grown over the past year due to the input of the banks. You're probably going to see something like 0.01% per annum interest on whatever you've had in the bank, which is absolutely tiny. It's nothing compared to how much these banks are making, right? Now, again, I understood that, okay, this is a very liquid market. This is something with a lot of money into it, and it's something that you don't need much to tap into. So the only question I had left was, how do I learn how to do this skill set, right? Because Forex and trading in the foreign exchange market is essentially a recession-proof skill set. Let me explain how. When you have an exchange rate between two currencies and it's relatively low and it's anticipated to rise, you can buy that position, okay? And as the exchange rate goes up, you will make your profit. But conversely, if the exchange rate between two currencies is relatively high and it's actually set to fall, you can sell that position and again, make your profit. That is a recession-proof skill set, right? So it doesn't matter. The economy doesn't have to be good. The markets don't have to be good. It doesn't matter about Brexit, coronavirus, all of these financial, economical, social, political issues that can cause the value of our currencies to fluctuate. If it's going up, you're going to make a profit. If it's going down, you can also make a profit. And so I just needed the right guidance and the right education to be able to do this from home for myself, okay? Now, as I said, I was connected with someone who literally took me under his wing and was able to guide me on this journey of learning how to invest my money, right? And 18 months on, it's been absolutely spectacular. I've been able to do so much thanks to this skill set. But I really want you guys to hear this information from the person that I first heard it from myself. All right, now this person has their background in investment banking. So they worked for the likes of JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity Worldwide Investments, okay? They're also very heavily involved in the ministry of our youth, okay? So this person is a minister and they've been involved in youth ministry since 2011. Not only that, but they are currently impacting over 500 people around the world, helping them to change their finances, helping them to change their social and economic past, all right? And this person's also a family man, okay? A husband with a beautiful daughter. And I'm sure, I'm so excited for you to hear from him. He's an absolute powerhouse. And I want you guys to really pay good attention to the information you're about to hear. So without further ado, I introduce to you all my mentor, my friend, Mr. Jason Agbodza.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gents. Hope everyone is doing well. Jason Agbodza speaking here. Thank you very much, Nicola, for that wonderful introduction onto this call. I appreciate you. I appreciate Martin as well. Thank you very much for having me. It's a privilege and a pleasure of mine to be able to spend time here and contribute to the ongoing financial development of our community, because of course, ladies and gents, we've been through much, right? We have truly been through much, but nevertheless, if we find ourselves having problems and we're not willing to do something different to change, then really and truly we are choosing the problem. You understand? Once we have access to information and once we know better, we can do better. So what we're going to do today, as has already been sort of embarked on so far, is show you how you too can participate in the world's largest financial market, as Nicola has already mentioned. And, a little bit about my background, as Nicola has touched on. I come from an investment space background. So, these big major banks, your JP Morgans, your Goldman Sachs, your Fidelity. Now, obviously, when you work for such organizations, they pay you very, very well indeed, right? Money wasn't necessarily an issue for me. But my issue, ladies and gents, was time. You see, because I could work anywhere from about 8 o'clock in the morning to about 11 o'clock at night. There was no lunch break. You would warm your food up in the microwave, you'd come back to your desk and you'd keep working. And I said, Lord, have mercy upon me. Am I going to be doing this for the next 40 years and then pass away? I said, no. I need to be able to do something different. This cannot be the be all and end all of my life. Some people in the Caribbean, they'll say that this can't run. You understand? And I said, listen, I need to be able to do something different. But so many of us, sometimes we find ourselves in different situations, circumstances pertaining to our careers where we're not necessarily satisfied with the type of work we're doing, the pay that we're receiving, the commute, or something. But we're really not willing to do anything different to change our circumstances. And ladies and gents, in order for things to change in your life, you must be willing to change, as I've said. For things to be different, you've got to be willing to do something different. And so what happened was this concept of trading for self was brought to my attention by someone that I trust and respect. I eventually grabbed a hold of this information, and as a result, I have not had to work a job now since August 2018. I haven't had to work a job since August 2018. I wake up when I want. I wake up when I'm done sleeping. I go to sleep when I want. My wife no longer has to work a job. Right? We can raise our baby daughter, who's 1, called Hosanna, together. You know, we have the house, we have the Mercedes-Benz, and I don't say this stuff to impress you, but to impress upon you that trading can change your life. Okay? And so what Nicola has done is given you an overview of the foreign exchange market. And so I'm going to show you exactly what it is that we're utilizing now, right? To be able to go ahead and grow and capitalize on this very, very, very lucrative market. And you know, the beautiful thing behind this is that, ladies and gents, all of this is being done and accomplished from the smartphone, right? From the laptop. See, I keep telling people, listen, in this day and age, if your smartphone isn't making you any money, you might as well call it a dumb phone. Because we spend so much time on these devices. You've got Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. What is all this activity doing for you financially? Absolutely nothing. Now, if you divert some of that attention to learn this skill set, you literally pay yourself financially for the remainder of your life. But the key is good education, good software, good mentoring. You see, many people think that trading is complicated. You've got to be good at maths and numbers. And the reality is that, you know, we are actually trading as part of a global community. And there are individuals in our community who are over 70. 70. They're not tech savvy. We've got people who are hairdressers. We've got people who are window cleaners. And then on the opposite spectrum, we've got barristers and judges and doctors and dentists and teachers, professionals who understand the need for what? Multiple streams of income. But the key is education, mentorship, and good systems. So what we utilize, therefore, is this online trading educational academy, as I share my screen, right? Which teach us, which give us access to be able to multiply our money in the largest financial market in the world, right? And it gives us the chance to be able to utilize a number of different academies to get educated, to learn and earn at the very same time. They'll literally walk you through basic level education, through to intermediate education, through to advanced education, to help you to become profitable over a period of time. And they primarily do this through free academies. Our main focus is the HFX Academy. That stands for High Speed Forex Trading. Listen closely. In other words, you have the ability to multiply your money within minutes. I am going to demonstrate this for you a little later on, okay? Alongside this, you have the Digital Currency Exchange Academy, DCX Academy. Now, this is where you can participate in the cryptocurrency space. I'm sure many of you by now, you've heard about cryptocurrency, but you know, you're at a loss as to what to do, what is it, how do you benefit? And some of you, maybe you already have experience and you're already investing in the long term in Bitcoin and Ethereum, etc. But many people don't know that you can actually trade it, which means you can profit from it on a short-term basis as well, okay? And then, of course, you have the regular foreign exchange market, which you can utilize to be able to grow your money as well. Now, the main objective of this academy is to really help you to grow your money, to get your money working harder for you than just leaving it in the banks, right? But if you're someone who wants to study, someone who wants to learn and get educated, by all means, knock yourself out. You've got a number of educational videos that you can be utilizing to learn the skill set. So what is Forex? Click on that link, press play on these videos, short bite-sized videos, good for the attention span, okay? And just work your way through the curriculum and make notes, okay? And then even got tests you can take to ensure that you're learning and making progress. But as I said, the main objective is to get you earning and growing your capital. And so this academy gives you access to be able to watch 6 and 7 and even 8-figure expert traders trading live. It is a bit like watching Wall Street online, different time zones, different languages, different backgrounds. Same way you're watching me live right now, you can watch a financial analyst analyze the markets, and you can enter into the same trades as them. So when they say, ladies and gents, buy the euro, you buy it with them. Sell the Swiss franc, you sell it with them. Buy the US dollar, you do it with them, and you receive the profits. Okay? And if you want to learn their strategies, you simply watch their strategy teaching sessions and implement what it is that they are teaching you. Okay? Very powerful indeed. Now, as and when live sessions are happening Monday through to Friday, they're typically 1 hour max, sometimes even quicker than that, half an hour, sometimes even 15 minutes, but 1 hour max. You can log in, tune in, hop on live trading session calls. They'll be featured on this screen here, right? And the educator will verbally and in written format provide you with coordinates, right? In areas in which you can enter into a trade. And every single session that is done, right, is recorded and uploaded into a bank of videos, and some favorite sessions are kept as part of a trading catalog, which you can refer back to. Okay, very, 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 very powerful indeed, right? You know, so it's a bit like watching Netflix, but for trading, ladies and gents, right? Now, nothing wrong with watching television. I just tell people, listen, if you've got financial goals, there's more productive things you can be doing with your time. You know, I tell people, well, you know, listen, if you want to learn how to be excellent at anything, go and learn from experts, right? I tell people, if you want to learn how to cook authentic jollof rice, you should ask a Ghanaian and nobody else, right? Or if you want to know how to properly pronounce plantain, ask an African, don't ask a Caribbean. They'll confuse you and call it plantain. You understand? Right? I'm just messing. But again, the key is this: go and learn from individuals who have done what it is that you want to accomplish. Okay? Awesome stuff. Now, at this stage, what I really want to do is demonstrate for you the power of high-speed Forex trading. Truly phenomenal. Let me go ahead and share my screen and enlarge it, and we are good to go. So, this is the high-speed Forex trading interface, okay? The objective of this style of trading is to predict the direction of price in a limited amount of time. What is price? Price is reflected here by this colorful blue line. Is this line going to go up or is it going to go down in a limited amount of time, okay? And we accomplish this in 4 simple steps, okay? This is why we have people who are in their 70s trading with us as well. So let's go through the steps. Step number 1, we select the currency pair that we want to be able to trade, okay? So the expert analyst has told us what particular trade is about to go up or currency pair is about to go up or down, and they've given us the details. So we select the currency pair. That's step 1 complete. Step number 2, we select the time frame by which we want our trade to last. Now, typically, we're only trading for 1 to 3 minutes. That is it. So we select the time frame. So this is a 1-minute trade we're about to do. Okay. Step number 3, we select the appropriate amount of risk that we want to utilize on this trade. Thumbs up if you can still hear me. So make sure you guys can still hear me. If you can still hear me. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. So we select the appropriate amount of money that we want to risk. Now, when we're trading, ladies and gents, we only ever risk 1 to 3% max. Okay. 1 to 3% max. Now, this is a live trading account. That's £10,000. So as you can see here, we're risking £122. That's nicely within our risk. Okay, so that's 1.2%. Now you could trade with way less. You could trade with £100, you know, £250, 1,000. You can trade with way more, 10,000, 100,000. Doesn't matter. Whatever you're trading, you're going to risk 1 to 3%. Okay, and then the 4th and final step is we select the green button for a buy if we believe the price is going to go up, or the red button for a sell if we believe the price is going to go down. So on this example, we have selected the green button. It submits our order onto the screen, reflected by this horizontal line here. Now, if the price finishes above this line, right? So this is the finishing point. 1 minute. This is 1 minute worth of time, okay? If the price finishes above this line, we have won the trade. And it shows us the profit that we stand to make, okay? If the price finishes below this horizontal line, then we have lost the trade. So we wait patiently for price to do what it needs to do. We follow the 4 steps. We've selected the currency pair, selected the time, right? Selected the amount of risk. As you can see, the risk has been deducted. And we've selected the green button because we believe the price is going to stay up. We wait, boom, the trade is now complete. We have regained the amount of money that we have risked, and we've made a profit of £100. In other words, ladies and gents, you've just seen us make £100 in 1 minute. Now, answer me this. How long would it take to make £100 in your current line of work? Just think about the answer. You don't have to tell me, just think about it. How long would it take to make £100? Now, I want you to answer me this. What is more precious than money, ladies and gents? What is more precious than money? Answer I'm looking for is time. Because money can be replaced. Time cannot. Once you run out of time, run out of time. That's it. It's gone. Can't come back. So what if you position yourself to be able to obtain money but save time? Formidable combination. Does that make sense? Okay. Now at this stage, I want to show you some of the high-speed Forex expert traders and their stats and their results. So people who you'll be taking trade ideas from. So let's have a look at some stats. So now, full disclosure here, look, transparency. We don't win every trade, nor do we need to. Just need to win more than we lose. Simple as that. So this is an example here, 9 losses, 36 wins. That was done in the space of just over 2 weeks. Now, what does this look like in terms of percentage? Okay, in terms of percentage. So if we're trading at a maximum risk of 3%, okay, maximum risk of 3%, 9 times 3 for our losses, that's 27% loss. 36 times 2.1. Why 2.1? Because again, we regain a percentage back of what we have risked, typically 70% or above, okay? So 36 times 2.1 gives us 75.6% gain. Our net, therefore, if you round it up, that's 50% account growth done in over 2.5 weeks. 50% in over 2.5 weeks. What is the bank giving to you per year where you keep your money at all the time? Answer, I'm sure, is probably not much, right? More examples here. 14 losses, 56 wins, 80% accuracy. More examples here. 9 losses, 45 wins. Again, in the space of 2 weeks, 83% accuracy for this period. And even more recently as well, in June, over the last 2 weeks, 76% win rate, 12 losses, 38 wins, right? All verified results, right? Absolutely phenomenal. Right, and just show you a couple of examples of what people have been able to earn. Okay, now we could spend all day just showing you people's results, but we haven't got time for that. So I'm just going to show you just a couple, right? So these profits here would have been made in 1 to 3 minutes. That's 1 to 3 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes. Now, of course, past profits are no guarantees of future returns. Okay, right? More examples here: 1 to 3 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes, right? 1 to 3 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes. And now, when you have capital, now it's possible to make what people make in a month in 1 to 3 minutes. Hence why some of us are no longer working jobs. It doesn't make any logical sense anymore. Does that make sense? Right? Now that I've shown you how we make our money, I want to show you how we grow our money. So this is the compound plan. So you get access to this, right? Say, for example, you're trading with £250. Okay. We're going for a daily target of 5%, which is more than doable with this style of trading. Okay. Now, let's say we're doing this over 90 sessions. Everything's reinvested, and we don't trade on the weekends. Look at what happens, ladies and gents. Look at this day. look at what's possible for you. So day one, everything's reinvested. You come back, you're committing to the sessions day after day, 1 hour max, okay? After 30 sessions of doing this, look at the power of the compound effect. You've grown from 250 to 1,080, okay? What about 60 sessions of doing this? You've grown your money to 4.6K. What about 90 sessions of doing this? You've grown your money to £20,000. Now, we're not going to win every trade. So what if you do half of these results? 10,000. Would that still be a blessing to you and your family? Absolutely, right? And at this stage, you know, I think about my daughter. You know, my daughter is 1; she'll be 2 in October. Hosanna. I don't know nobody called Hosanna, so very unique, right? When she's of age, I'm going to teach her how to trade. When she has children of her own, guess what she's probably going to do? Teach them how to trade. That's a generational skill set that can lead to generational wealth. Can the jobs that most people have given their lives to give generational wealth? No, absolutely not. And if you want something different for your last name, you've got to be willing to do something different. I read somewhere, maybe you can guess, I read somewhere very wise, that a wise person leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Now, let's talk about the price. Because again, many people in life, they want something for nothing. That is why they will always end up in life with nothing. It's give, receive, sow, reap, plant, harvest. The cost of learning to trade in the UK is now anywhere from about £3,000 to as much now as £20,000. Other issue is this: these courses, they're a bit like boot camps. They usually only run for about 3 days. Then you are on your own. Can you imagine 20 grand for 3 days? Then you're on your own. Good luck. No support, no community. That is it. Now, to our delight, the educational academy that we're utilizing, that is being a blessing to our community and people all over the world, it is not £20,000. It is not £3,000. It is an initial fee of £170. £170 to get started. And it is not for 3 days access to the education. No, it is for 30 days access. 30 days for you to learn as much as you would like to learn, or earn what you can within that time frame. But if you want to continue with your education, the tools, the software, the access to the expertise, then you continue on an optional rolling, month by month basis at £129. But there is no contract. There are no tie-ins. There's no cancellation fee. In fact, there's even a 7-day money back guarantee. You can try this out for 7 days. Don't like it, prefer what you're doing with your current lifestyle, request for your money to be sent back to you. Money will be paid back to your bank within 24 hours. But this platform has roughly how many now? 450,000 students worldwide. I'm leading and working with just under 500 students. We have people in Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica, Bermuda, Cayman Islands. We have people in Australia, Ireland, Canada, America, up north in the UK, literally all over the world, earning and learning, and many, many believers, right? Which is phenomenal, right? Now, this academy also gives you the chance to go ahead and remove the monthly subscription. You can have a scholarship to be able to earn and learn continuously, okay? How so? Academy says you simply refer the academy to 2 students only. Then the monthly subscription is removed. That is it. You don't have to share with anyone. That's absolutely fine. But if you want to have a scholarship, just 2 students, and the monthly subscription is removed. Now you have continued access. Now there's also an optional entrepreneurship program which you can enroll in to possibly earn some residual passive income on top. That's something that you can inquire about at a later point. Okay. Now let's say you said, you know what, Jason, this makes sense. I'd love to be able to trade, make money from my smartphone or laptop from home, but I don't have £170 to get started. Well, I tell people, listen, if you've been living and working in the Western world and to this day, £170 is a struggle, that's a bit of a financial crisis. How long do we want that to be the narrative of our lives? Because if you keep doing exactly what you've been doing, nothing's going to change. And if nothing changes, guess what? Nothing changes. In fact, actually, the only thing that will change is our age. Or maybe you see, do I have the time to be able to do this? Well, if you've got time for Netflix, time for social media, we have time to trade. And you can see the trades last for 1 minute. Or maybe you say, you know what, can I really do this? Well, I say, listen, if there are people in their 70s who are trading, window cleaners and chefs who cook for a living, why can't you do this? Right? Now, the final things I'll say is this before I hand back to Martin. In this lifetime, ladies and gents, there is never, ever a lack of opportunity. There's only a lack of vision and belief. Historically, there was an African farmer. In his pursuit of diamonds, he sold his farm and everything he owned to go and look for diamonds elsewhere. He could not locate the diamonds, became depressed, and unfortunately, because he was depressed, he took his own life. This is a true story. Tutus, another individual, came along, bought the previous farm that was sold, and guess what he found in the land? Diamonds. What is the moral of the story? Moral of the story is this. In your current vicinity, yes, where you're sitting comfortably right now, there are items around you which are like diamond mines. And I'm telling you, in this generation, here's your diamond mine, your mobile, laptop. Because one person uses this phone to look after their loved ones. And another person uses the same phone to take dog filter selfie pictures. And you now have the chance to be able to do exactly what the banks are doing with your money. Now, here's what we're going to do. We know it's a special occasion today, right? And as the leader of the community, I can run things like this. For anyone who enrolls today and today only, information makes sense, you are ready for change in your finances, you are going to have access to a discount. So ordinarily, it would be £170 to get started. If you enroll today and today only, it will be £140 to get started. But that's, again, only for those who enroll today. Now, you don't want to procrastinate with this, ladies and gents. I tell people that procrastination prevents prosperity. Some of us have been procrastinating on things for so long. And again, the only thing that has changed is our age. Or maybe you're saying you're skeptical. Well, if what you've been doing for the past 5, 10, 15 years has not given you the lifestyle that you want, maybe we should be skeptical of our own skepticism, because what we're doing is not giving us what we want. A couple of things you want to consider. If you look at your bank balance now, don't look now, but if you were to look now, would you say that the balance there brings a massive smile to your face? Just think about your balance. Does it bring a massive smile to your face? If the answer is no, again, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same results. Or maybe, let's say you were unable to work for the next 6 to 12 months for whatever reason. Would you be in a financial problem? If the answer is yes, wealthy people, millionaires, maybe you don't want to be a millionaire, that's fine. But millionaires have an average of 7 streams of income. How many do you have? If the answer is one is closer to none. Anything can happen. And presumably you have monthly bills, right? You pay for things on a monthly basis, or you buy things with your money, right? You spend money. Are any of your expenses putting money into your account? Again, if the answer is no, wealthy people spend money on things that make money. Those who are not wealthy, guess what they do? Just spend money. The last 3 letters of the word spend is what? END, end. End of our financial goals and financial dreams. So, ladies and gents, as we round up, you want to take action. You want to be able to capitalize on this discount and earn and learn in the largest financial market in the world, and do something completely different to get something completely different, and trade and invest so that you can grow your capital. God bless you. I appreciate you. I will hand the line back over to Martin Stevens. Martin, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm right here, sending up my clap hands emoji for you, man. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, both to yourself and to Nicola, and the guests that have joined us this afternoon for this this afternoon feast. I've called it a feast because it spells out financial education and savings tips. And overall, I think this is a feast in another sense, because to be able to tap into such a huge market on a smartphone. Listen, the day that I signed up with Nicola as a birthday present to myself back in 2019 in March, one of the best days of my life. So I encourage you all, know that this is an opportunity that you shouldn't miss. It's a skill, it's an education that can stay with you for the rest of your life, and it will be an extra income that will benefit not only yourself, not only your family, but your community as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So whether you're actually on this Zoom call, whether you're watching on the YouTube streaming, or whether you're watching this at a later date, this opportunity is still here. Get in contact with myself, and I will get you connected with big things. All right. Love you all. It's been amazing. Remember, my book is available, Raising Up Role Models. Let's make a difference in our community. There's so many bad things that's happening, but we can make the difference in our own sphere of influence. We can impact those who are around us, those who we love, who we care for, by improving our own situation. All right. Don't let certain things hinder you. I know many people are held back by things such as the love of money is the root of all evil, but that's when you take things out of context. And many Christians block their own blessings because when they read scriptures that say it's easier for a rich man to get into, sorry, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. And they think, wow, well, if it's impossible for a camel to go through an eye of a needle, that means rich people can't get into heaven. So therefore, I shouldn't desire to be rich, not knowing that it wasn't a literal needle that a camel needed to go through. It was a doorway that a camel just needed to bend down. It was awkward, it was difficult, but they could get through there. All right. Don't be afraid of wanting to desire to have a better lifestyle, and to decide to pursue wanting better income, more income, multiple streams of income. In fact, believers should have more income streams than the world. Yeah. So get on board, take advantage, make a difference, make an impact. All right. I love you all. I'm looking at the time now, and I've got 10 minutes left to round up. Won't be taking any questions on the trading. Well, I don't know. Did anyone have any questions? We do prefer to have questions on that to be done via direct messaging. If there's any questions on the book, I would be glad to take that. But other than that, I'm going to round up because I've got a birthday celebration to get back to. All right. Listen, go enjoy the rest of the day. The weather is beautiful. It's been a pleasure. Love you all. Take care. God bless.
Thank you. Bye.